multiple games in a day.
Yeah. Well, just like how old you were, what you remember of
I
it.
don't remember how old I was.
Well, roughly, it could just be whatever you remember. And
Probably the last time I threw as a pitcher was when I was 12, and I threw my arm out. It was never the same after that.
so, like, what do you remember? Do you remember what team it was on or
I
anything?
don't remember what team it was.
Did they have a postseason?
That was one game that Dad and Pete were at. I know I was trying to, bring it in extra hard and all that stuff, and just, I just threw too many pitches, and for whatever reason, it was never the same after that.
Was it a playoff game, a late season, early
I
season,
don't remember
anything like that? So, what league do you know? What diamond it was played on, or what area? And so you're trying to throw. Did it have anything to do with the coach? Because it was just you trying to be impressive or something.
Well, it was obviously, now that we know, I was throwing too much. I would throw every game for us.
Oh, really? And why did they throw you? Were you real good at that time?
Just,
So you were one of the best in the league, would you say? Or would you say you were the best in the league?
probably the best, or Kevin Clinton was another really good pitcher.
Okay, one of the top two pitchers and hitters in the league, would you say? And when you weren't pitching, were you playing another base?
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
Usually, I forgot, it was all over the place.
Wasn't catcher, though.
First base, never catcher.
But first base, because you could dig anything out that anybody was wild with.
I don't know about anything that I could feel.
But you were the best person to stop a pitch at
Usually
first
if we
base,
played
right?
a really good team, and like anytime I was, not pitching and we played a good team, I'd play center field typically.
Oh, because you could get to the ball then, yeah. But shortstop, you didn't play that, right?
Yeah, played shortstop.
Yeah, okay. Because that's what it seems like the best players play shortstop and pitcher, but then center field when you're playing in a good league where guys are going to hit it, you get a lot of action there, and you got to run those down. And then first base, they had Ian at first base for the first time ever, and he was like, he had to be digging things out, and it was I never realized how important first base is when you're at that level. You gotta catch it. Yeah. So anyway, so tell me what your arm was like after that, and what's it like now because of that.
Well, it's hard to say. I haven't tried to pitch or anything.
But when you did try and pitch after
Well, I
that,
tried to pitch in high school. That was kind of the next time when I was a sophomore, and I remember just not having the velocity. And it was, it's not really pain, it's more you just don't have the velocity.
and but is that your rotator cuff? Do you have any idea what it
I
is?
think it probably is, because I have rotator cuff problems on that side. But
Was it elbow
I
or
think it's
shoulder?
elbow.
Elbow?
Yeah.
Were you ever throwing a curveball at that age? Did you ever throw one?
I didn't throw anything that you would resemble as a curveball.
Okay, so you didn't know what a curveball was at
I was
at
trying
that
to
age.
throw something, but it wasn't, I didn't throw it a lot. I just tried to throw fastball all the time.
Right. And did you have a changeup? Or was it just all fast?
It was all fast.
All fast, okay. And nobody could hit you?
Yeah, this could hit me, but not very many.
But you could throw inside, outside, that kind of stuff, hit the corners. And did your
I didn't look for corners.
just bring it,
Just
bring the heat.
Yeah,
Bring the
and
heat.
there were the best hitters.
Could sit on your fastball.
Yeah, I remember Mark Reynolds, who played at Texas. He's probably one of the best hitters, and he could hit me. Because, he just sat back there, and, it's perfect for him, probably.
So his dad played on a softball team together, right? Now, Mark wasn't my age, was he?
We were
So,
the same age.
so who was the guy my age? Because he went,
Ron.
he went pro, didn't he? He went
For the Mets.
Mets as a catcher. Did he ever pitch, do you know? when he was younger?
I never remember.
Never know
He was
that,
always
right?
a catcher.
Always a
So
catcher.
smart.
Because they were saying that the next thing to pitchers is catchers that have problems with their arms. Because they go to these showcases and they just have them throw until they can't throw
Well, they're
anymore.
thrown as much as pitchers.
But throwing to second base in showcases, they make them throw to second forever, and it just is crazy to do that to a kid when they're real young.
Yeah.
But maybe his dad knew better and protected him. I don't know if anybody
I
knew
remember
anything.
he was protected because I remember his dad always, well, no, it's Kevin Clinton. He was the only guy I ever saw with a warm-up jacket.
Oh,
And he was definitely, his dad, I think, maybe played pro ball or something that he's doing.
okay. So to this day, though, do you think that, I've seen you throw a football and you don't really launch it like you used
I have
to?
the same problem.
Same problem with football, so there is a velocity and distance problem that you always have, unless you wanted to have Tommy John surgery and fix it, and nobody's going to do that unless there's a reason to. But it didn't affect your basketball career, though, right? So it's just long and hard throwing. Like, did you ever try and throw that boogie you said Booty could throw that pass from out of bounds up against the backboard? Could you have thrown that pass? Okay, so you could throw that far.
Yeah, I mean, in basketball you throw, same deal. I mean, I don't know. It's just, I really don't know.
But the distance of a basketball court, how far is that? That's like 30 yards, 40 yards, 30-yard pass, distance of the whole court.
Yeah, it's probably 10, 25, it's probably 50 yards.
Oh, 50 yards. So you got to throw a 50-yard pass on point, Booty did, up against the backboard?
10, 30.
Yeah, I should know
Maybe
how
it was
far it is.
35 or 40 yards.
But that's different than throwing a 50-yard pass. Yeah. Okay, so you couldn't.
let's go.
Okay, that's all I want to know. Thanks.